Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 4 to you, which is the January the 28th through February the 3rd. We're looking at the imperfect and double object pronouns. You're going to want to study pages 237 to 240 and pages 254 to 257. At the end of this week, you should be able to use the preterite tense, sports, and weather vocabulary to write a paragraph describing what you did last summer. You should also know when to use the imperfect tense and how to correctly form it. You should be able to distinguish between direct and indirect object pronouns and know how to use the two of them together. These assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, and 5 and are all due on the 31st of January. To start this week, you want to do it like all the rest by looking at the instructor-made videos. There's videos on the imperfect, the irregulars in the imperfect, and double object pronouns. After watching each video, you will click on the class participation forum, click on the thread, hit reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in the videos. We are going to have a test, test 1 on chapter 7. So when you're ready, you're going to click on the test. You have 3 hours in which to complete it. When you're ready, hit attempt quiz now, start attempt. The first section, you are going to complete the following sentences by choosing the appropriate verb. This is in the preterite tense, so you'll choose between the two different verbs given for meaning and then the spelling that correctly reflects who's either doing the giving or the going. Okay, so you'll do multiple of those. Then you get down here to completa la frase. You're going to choose the correct indefinite or negative expression to complete the following sentences. So you've got various indefinite negative expressions. Decide which one would best complete the sentences here, and you've got quite a few of those. Then you have ¿Cuál es el verbo correcto? Complete the following sentences by selecting the appropriate verb. Again, you've got two verbs given in two different forms. Just pick the verb and the correct form that would complete the sentence. Okay, then you have más verbos irregulares. Complete the following sentences with the logical verb from the word bank. So you're given these irregular verbs in the word bank. You pick the one that would best complete the sentence and then conjugate it into the preterite correctly. Ayer en la universidad, listen to the paragraph, then read the following statement carefully and decide whether it is cierto or falso. If the information is given, select no se menciona. So you'll click here and you listen to this entire dialogue and then read the various statements below and decide whether they're cierto, falso, or you should pick no se menciona. Un día la semana pasada, Felipe, an international student from the Dominican Republic, is telling you about what happened one day last week. Complete each sentence with the correct predicate form of the logical verb in parentheses. So you're going to pick between the two verbs for meaning and then conjugate each of those verbs into the preterite correctly. Los objetos, your little brother likes to repeat everything you say. Complete his sentences by filling in the blanks with the correct double object pronouns. So you're going to take your direct object and your indirect object, turn them into pronouns, and plug them into the statement below. Me lo traes. Fill in the blank with the correct response to each question, and you need to write them out. Es horrible estar aburrido. What do you do when you are bored? Do you lie on the sofa all day and watch TV? Read the following advice on what to do about boredom. Complete the paragraph with the correct words from the word bank. No word is repeated. So you pick the following words to complete the word in the word bank and write them out. El examen de vocabulario es mañana. Tomorrow is your big vocabulary test. Complete each of the following sentences with the logical word or phrase from the list. No answer is repeated. So again, you're just going to take the words from the list above and write them in the spaces below. El deporte del verano. Most people have a favorite sport, and Gustavo is no exception. Below, he describes his favorite sport. Complete his description with the correct words from the list. You may use each word only once. El tiempo libre, complete the following sentences about free time and the weather with the logical word from the word bank. So you'll read the statements and then just take the words from the word bank and write them in the blanks below. Lastly, fill in the blanks with the verbs from the list in the correct preterite tense. So you pick the word that would best complete the sentence and then make sure you conjugate it into the preterite tense. When you're done, you hit finish attempt, and then I will go through and check them before you'll receive your final grade. Okay. All right, so that's test 7. You also have assignment 5. You're going to go to my language labs. You can click on this link here and you'll complete these assignments in my language lab. So when you're ready, you'll click on that link. This is what it'll look like. Go to the course calendar. Then click on the 31st. The assignments will pop up in the middle. You can click on them, complete them as many times as you would like before the due date, but if you're doing them more than 3 times, I suggest reaching out to me so that I can explain to you what you're doing wrong. Writing assignment 1, you started this last week. It is still, so this writing assignment workshop will get moved here before the start of the week. You will click on it. Now you will see someone else's writing, and you are to use the rubric and the feedback section to provide comments and feedback on a fellow classmate's writing. For oral dialogue, you will see, oh, you're starting oral dialogue 2. So when you're ready, you're going to click on the workshop and you're going to read the instructions here. It's basically saying you're going to talk about your childhood. You're going to prepare a recording by writing a script in which you describe in Spanish what you were like as a child. So you should be using the imperfect. You're going to give a physical description of yourself. You're going to talk about your personality. You're going to talk about activities or sports you used to do, who you used to spend time with, where you used to live. So when you're ready, you're going to hit start preparing your submission and you'll write your script here and hit save changes. You can also write any words you're not sure how to pronounce. And then this next week you'll see it again, but you'll see someone else's script, which you'll give feedback for. And the following week you can open up the workshop again and you will finally see your feedback, which you can use to create your recording. And that's everything you have to do for week 4.